And so I'm glad to introduce my first guest. This gentleman is a scholastic teacher and a sports official. And so we have that in common to kick off this interview series. Over the past year, through sports officiating, we've gotten to meet one another and click and collaborate on a lot of things locally. And so without further ado, and we're going to get right into it, my guest is Bruce Kilmoyer. So Bruce, thanks for coming on. How are you?
Thank you. Very good. Thank you.
All right. We're going to jump right into it. We just spent some time before this conversation, before we hit record, catching up to speed and some of the things that we're doing. So we know you're a scholastic teacher. So give the folks a little background. What grades have you taught? What school districts? How long have you been teaching? What subjects? Tell us about yourself and your teaching career.
Okay. Well, right out of high school, I went to Millersville University to get my teaching degree in social studies. Mm-hmm. And after I redshirted my first year, after 5 years in school, because I was an English major and I changed to social studies. So after 5 years there, I graduated, and I was fortunate enough to get my first teaching job up in a little town in northern PA, the Troy. There's a lot of Pennsylvania above Williamsport before you get to New York.
Right.
So that was my first teaching year in 1996, the 96-97 school year. So I spent 4 years in northern PA, small school. So I had the opportunity to teach anywhere from 7th to 12th grade. And I'd say, with the exception of anthropology, I taught every one of the social studies: history, geography, sociology, psychology. So while I was teaching up there, I was coming down in the summers working on my master's degree at Millersville. And of course, being a sports official, I read the sports section before I read anything else. So I'm driving back from Lancaster, and I stop for lunch, and I pick up the Lancaster newspaper. This is 2000 now, after 4 years up there. And I see the Mannheim Central baseball coach retired. And later on in the article, it says he was also an 8th grade social studies teacher. So in the year 2000, I was fortunate enough to apply for, and I moved back down, and I got a job teaching at Mannheim Central, 8th grade down here in Lancaster County. And I spent the next 12 years teaching 8th and then 9th grade social studies. Now, a little bit larger school district, so I was just teaching history classes, which is my wheelhouse. And I was working on my master's degree, and I got my master's degree in sports management, athletic administration. So I applied for an AD job. Looking back, I think I lost my mind a little bit, but I got a athletic director job in the West Shore School District at Red Land High School. So I spent 4 years as a high school athletic director, still in education, out of the classroom, but a different role. And after 4 years, I thought to myself, I really missed the classroom, because I might see a kid walking down the hall, and all I know about him is he's on the JV baseball team, or
right.
she plays field hockey. And when I was in the classroom, I thought, I know 10 different things about each one of my students. So in the summer of 2015, I resigned from that position, and I was fortunate enough to get a teaching job, 8th grade social studies in Red Lion down in York County.
Right.
So if you add it all up, I'm going into my 27th year of teaching, about 22 of them in the classroom, 4 of them as a pseudo administrator. And I've been all over the state, but right now I teach 8th grade social studies in Red Lion down in York County.